I'm gonna tell you a story. The first thing you have to understand is time doesn't work the way you think it does. You can call me Oracle because I'm the one who's talking to you. Welcome to the call. Before I get deep into this, I'm gonna give a little bit of booyah buzz. A gyrating labyrinthine arbor models of joy bring as oracles traveling underway along the ramparts and the watchtowers. Groves hidden lake steps, Arctic snow, mountains peak, oasis, not mirage. On the sea, splendid river streams and brooks. Now with Booyah Boss on the show, we do what's up. Alright, quick update. So I've eaten most of these. I've actually had a chance to put the flowers and the figs from the previous video up, and as well change the water on the altar. Here is the previous altar fruit. I've actually eaten most of it, except for the mango and the persimmon. What's left here is the seeds I'm gonna put in my little garden. And so over here we have stuff. So there's a couple different ways you can do Panchamrita, obviously, because I've shown you a couple different ways. But it's based on the 5 substances that can be like sacred or profane depending on how you use them, being meat, fish, grain, specifically like wheat and rice, 2 kinds of millet, one being foxtail millet, and I don't remember the other one. Flour or wheat. Actually, wheat is one of them. Anyway, not important. But anyway, there's meat, grain. There's also alcohol or media. Specifically, it says wine, but like that's general idea. And the 5th one is sexual congress, which I don't get to have because I'm single. But that's not the point. The point of that is those are all things that you can just have without it being sacred, profane, either one. You can do it in a specifically sacred way, or if you're bad, you can do them in a profane way. I don't recommend that last one. But point is, I'm going to do later on this evening, because it's my day off, a Panchamrita where I'm going to sample 5 different kinds of alcohol. Because I actually almost never drink. Like, I almost never drink. Like, if I actually took a vow of, it would be kind of pointless for me to take a vow of abstinence from alcohol because I just don't do it that often. I don't really have a desire to. But point is, I'm not going to be doing any of these on camera because kind of feel like that might be against YouTube's service policies. I haven't read that deeply on it, but like, I'm not going to because I'm not going to do it. Point is, this will happen off camera, but I have the equivalent of beer. Boop. Up there you go. I have fruit punch. It's basically wine cooler. I might curacao for cherry fizz bag later. I have mead. I love mead. Generally speaking, like, I'm not a big fan of alcohol. It's very unusual. In point of fact, it like took me a little time to accumulate this much for this video because honestly, like this, I can't even tell you how long it lasts. Like, it lasts months on months and months. Like, I'm not a heavy drinker. And also, sake, which I'm going to use with some sake cups that belong to my dad before he passed. And those are my 5 alcohols for my later this evening Panchamrita. So there's those. I've said before that I know some Tai Chi. This is how I know Tai Chi. It's a video that was a Christmas present from my father many years ago, and I'm probably actually gonna go through it and do the routine tonight because I think I have enough space in here to do it. But it's been a while since I've dusted off my Tai Chi, and it's been forever and like 6 days since I've been to an Aikido dojo. But I figure it's good to like freshen up on a couple things. And now I'm going to move on to so Hermeticism or Hermetic magic or most like ceremonial high magic involves four classic tools that are represented, also seen in the tarot. And I'm going to show you mine. I'm going to start with my pentacle. Now, this is made out of wire. It's a star and a circle. The thing about pentacles is they can be just a star and a circle. They can be a plate. Not even joking, because one of the ways this works is you have a plate, a cup, a knife, and the wand is in place of a fork because you can have a trident instead of a wand, and that basically means that the four classical elements are part of how you eat a basic meal, which is pretty cool in my opinion. But that's just me. So this is what's cool about these is specifically for me. In my opinion, this is how every ritual magician should do their magical tools, because I basically have a cool story for like almost all of these. Like the least cool story is I handmade this. That's not that cool story, I'm not gonna lie. But like I had this. Before I became an equity stage manager, this was a gift to me from Dirty Blonde, a the all kinds of theater production down in New Orleans at La Petite Théâtre de Vieux Carré in the quarter of Jackson Square in New Orleans. Now, that was a gift from the only equity person on a non-equity show who had a special writer to work on that show. Um, and funny note about that, it was supposed to be the first regional performance of Dirty Blonde, but another company up in like, I think upstate New York was where it ended up being, basically like did a rush job of their rehearsal schedule so they could be the first, because that's how cutthroat things can be, even in like non like lord theaters and like non-equity houses. That's how cutthroat things can be, to be like the first one to do something. So but that that place is so haunted I can't even tell you. Like if I didn't already believe in ghosts, that place would have made me believe in ghosts. This is my wand. It is one that is from a branch that was in the backyard of a house I no longer live at. It has followed me through several moves. I think it actually has something on here, not specifically, but just more or less coincidentally from the first place, like the previous places I've lived. And I've also taken the time to smooth it and done some carving on it. So this is sort of like halfway in between of the level of like dedicated purana of this is something I handmade versus this is something that has a cool story behind it. Now, this is also, now I come to my ritual dagger. Now, it's my understanding actually that there's two kinds of ritual daggers. One is an Atham and one is a Bolan. The Atham, if I'm remembering this correctly, the Atham is the one that has a black handle. In this case, it's brown, but we can say it's black for the purposes of this. And the Bolan is one that has a white handle. They deal with masculine versus feminine energy, respectively. And I also happen to have, which was a Christmas present from one of my previous bosses, a cast iron skillet, which can basically be my iron tool. Now, here's the cool thing about the Purana from this, or the legend behind this. I actually got this, believe it or not, at the foot of the Great Wall of China, because when I was in high school, we took a band trip. We took two band trips. One was with the concert band specifically to Japan, but one was also with the jazz band to China. And that, I played the trumpet, by the way, which is how I was in a jazz band. But my point is, I actually got that at the foot of the Great Wall of China, and like I had it for like forever, and like the ex fiance who taught me the abracadabra candle charm, actually took some time and like was like, this is one of the most awesome things I've ever seen. I want to be able to like repair it and like give it an edge again, because like it was old and like it actually had gotten a little bit rusty, which I was very upset about. And she was like, can I fix it? And I was like, yeah, if you want to, I'm not gonna stop you. Like, and she took like a couple weeks of just like consistently, patiently taking a couple like 10-15 minutes a day and resharpening it, which is the kind of thing that you do if you're gonna do something right, honestly. But like That is the purana behind basically my ritual tools, gifts, and things from specific experiences in my life. This is part of why, by the way, if like a tulpa was to try to overtake me, it would have to overtake my own memory of my own life, and like be like, no, this is my life, not yours. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Um, you can if like especially for someone like me, you can't have someone who has such a stable view of the legend of their own life and be like, no, 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 this is my life. Yeah, it won't work. Um, but that's neither here nor there. All right, so mention those. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you know what? Before I go, a little thing about ninja. So I know a fair amount about ninja from a history perspective. They were traditionally housed out of until they were taken in by the shogunate, specifically in Japan, and made basically the official spies of the shogun, which was the military government of China. They were effectively freedom fighters. So, and there was actually a big divide between those that were like, no, we're for everyone, because they came from what were called pariah castes. Like they were outcasts. They just were. They came from the villages that were all the undertakers, that were all the people who dealt with plague bodies. And so that is essentially why ninja have a lot of the very specific reputations they have, because they even before they became killers, were often just rejected, like their entire family, their entire clan. They're like, oh, well, that's the word I'm looking for. They were the untouchables even before they became ninja. So a lot of times they had to become ninja or be able to pass themselves off as just normal citizens, because they were specifically taught to not be normal citizens just growing up. Kind of harsh, but it's just how it was. That's why a lot of the movies talking about ninja training is talking about like how harsh it is. It's more than just the fact that they were trained to be killers. It's because they grew up as untouchables. That's kind of a rough life. I'm just saying. But there's actually a course in Japan, as I understand it, like at a major university, about like maybe it's like the history of ninjutsu. I'm assuming it's the history of ninjutsu, but there's actually an ability to take a course in ninjutsu in Japan. I'm assuming not as a martial art, but like a history. Maybe it is a martial art. I don't know for sure, but like I have to go to Japan to find out, and I would have to. No offense to my day job, I'd have to have a day job that paid a lot better than the one I have now to be able to do that. But um, so there was the Kogaomi province, to get you immature. There was the Ego deal. A lot of the thing about ninja clans is they were very regional, because they usually came from a specific village and a specific region, and a lot of their specific tactics had to do with their environment. Because one of the like most basic things that if you read a book that actually talks about ninjutsu is like a philosophy, is that it's like about being one with your environment. Like that, I think I may or may not have made a point about this in a previous video. There were a couple of videos I actually deleted because I got way off topic and just rambled too much. But essentially, a lot of the old ninja weapons were farming weapons. They were like not weapons. A tonfa, it was essentially a grain thresher, as was a nunchuck. It was a flail to like husk grain. That's it. That's part of why it's actually kind of difficult to use ninja, like nunchuck specifically as a weapon. Like you can't. Oh, you can. But like it ain't easy. It's like I've been like I was at an arts festival, and someone was like cracking a bullwhip around. I was like, "Can I try that?" He was like, "Yes, you can." And I gave it a shot, but like it's one of those things that after like I got a like after like one or two tries, I got one solid crack. I was like, "That feels awesome." But I also was like, that would be so impractical to use in a fight. Like even knowing how to use it, it's like it's great for intimidating someone. Great for intimidating someone. Nunchucks too. Like that's another thing about like flail weapons. They're very flashy. Flashy is great for stopping fights without actually fighting, which is, in my opinion, the best thing in the world. But anyway, don't fight. This is me speaking on behalf of the Master of All Kung Fu. Don't fight. That was what I was told during my initiation by Buddha. Don't fight, and that's what I'm saying now. Don't fight. If you have to not die, try running first. If you're cornered, oh yeah, fight. But like, try to get help. Get help. Get help and de-escalate. But don't fight, generally speaking. And don't go looking for fights. It's a bad idea. Alright. Now I've had it on with the show, I think I'll say, I'm going to do like 2 more things about these and just talk about them later. You know what? I'll talk. Oh, here we go. Yes. This is so key. Words or other names for ninja. Shinobi. Shadow warrior. Monomi, one who sees. Noki Zaru, macaque on the roof. It's a monkey on the roof. It's not a person, it's a monkey on the roof, whatever. Kusa, grass. Because, especially at the lower end, they were expected to be willing to be cut down like grass. That's kind of rough. Supa, which basically just means ninja. Let me see, what am I looking? Oh, there's a word that's it's actually for specifically on the Oshi, Shugenja. It's actually not really a ninja term, but there are often among the Yamabushi kinds of style of ninja, there are often like reportedly with 9 fingers, and they're supposed to be like people to do like miraculous ninja stuff, like make entire battalions of ninja like be able to be so stealthy that effectively like they really seem to just disappear, like an entire army could just like disappear in theory. Concho spy, Teisatsu scout, Kishu surprise attacker, Konran agitator, and here's the one that I was getting to with them being pariahs and them being untouchables, is this is actually what they're basically like their clans were called. Eta and Hinin. Polluted ones and non-person. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. This isn't funny. People who ended up becoming ninja became ninja because they were considered not people. Not a joke. And with that in mind, don't piss off ninja. You know why? Someone who is told they're not a person their entire life is not someone to piss off lightly. That's all I'm saying. With that in mind, it's Oracle, because I'm the one who's talking to you. Hopefully, I'm talking some sense. Dream safely.